Thank you for tuning in and welcome back to Home Buying Tips. In today's episode, you'll learn about 5 first-time homebuyer programs. My name is Andrew Finney. Please consider me your real estate geek. I'm always here to help. If you want to drop me a line to say hi, or if you need help finding a great real estate agent where you live, my contact information is below. If you haven't already done so, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel now and like this video. Thank you. So let's go ahead and get into it. Since the creation of the Federal Housing Authority back in 1934, it's been the American dream to actually own your own home. It's been part of the American dream, yet only 40% of all Americans own a home. The rest are renters. So here's 5 programs that you should be looking into to get into your first home today. So let's lead off. The most common type of loan that you're going to be able to get is an FHA loan. An FHA loan is backed by the Federal Housing Authority, and that is the acronym itself, FHA, Federal Housing Authority. So with that loan, the reason that appeals to a lot of first-time home buyers is because underneath that loan product is a lot of different types of loans that you can get and qualify for. And they do extend all the way down to the local level where you live for state-backed and city-backed type loan programs that you can use. Now, a traditional FHA loan, you're looking at 3.5% as a down payment, which is far less than what a lot of people consider as a 20% down payment. So if anyone says you have to have 20% down to get into your first home, that's not the case. You can actually get into a home with a traditional FHA loan of 3.5%, and you might be wanting to ask your local loan officer more about any kind of state or city-backed programs that enable you to get a home as possible loan or a down payment assistance loan that falls underneath the FHA world. Now, it is important to consider that you will still have buyer closing costs, and buyer closing costs generally account for about 2% to 4% of a sales price. So let's use the number that say that you are buying a $300,000 home, and a $300,000 home, if we're factored for buyer closing cost of 2% to 4%, means that you should be prepared to pay between $6,000 and $12,000 in buyer closing costs. It's important for you to know that as we move on. So now let's go into the second type of home loan that can benefit first-time homebuyers as well, and that's a VA loan. Now, VA in this case is not Virginia. It stands for Veterans Affairs. So just if you're thinking about Veterans Affairs, it's going to apply to active duty service personnel, reservists, and also retirees and veterans themselves if you qualify. So it's a really nifty loan because it's actually a zero down loan. There is a funding fee, and it is important to know this. There is a funding fee on a VA loan if you do not have a 10% or greater disability, service-connected disability rating. It's important to know that so that you can better plan for what your costs are going to be to use your VA loan. Now, commonly it comes up with veterans and active duty people. How many times can you use a VA loan? The good thing is you can use it as many times as you want, so long as the former loan, the former VA loan that you had, is paid off before you reuse it and you have your certificate of eligibility reinstated. To learn more about that, please do contact your local loan officer. If you're here in Vegas, of course, I'm happy to put you in touch with a couple of great loan officers that I work with frequently, and let them explain how that program works to better assist you. Now, the third type is really interesting, and it's not going to impact a huge amount of people, but it is an awesome loan product if you're looking for a home in the rural areas of the country. There is a Department of Agriculture Rural Development loan, also known as a USDA loan, that will help people buy or renovate homes. If you're looking to purchase in a rural area, then there are going to be certain requirements that have to be met for the Department of Agriculture to say, hey, yes, we'll extend this rural development loan to you. But if you're in one of those less densely populated areas of the country, a USDA loan may be right for you, and there's a lot of different loans types underneath that can be very beneficial to you as a first-time home buyer. So going into the fourth type, and this is one that's really cool. I mean, all the loans in this video are really cool, but in this case, it's really interesting because it falls underneath Habitat for Humanity. And Habitat for Humanity, what they do is they get a lot of volunteers and they start framing out the home, they start building the home, and they will go on a blitzkrieg, essentially, of building these homes for low-income or moderate income families to be able to get into a home. Now, as you can imagine, they can only build so many of these homes in any given area at any given time, so they do have requirements that have to be met to be able to qualify for it. And generally what they're looking for right now is that you have a household income that is roughly 30% to 50% of the city's median income in your area. So it's important to know that. So you'd have to have a median income of that's equivalent to 30% to 50% of the average median income in your area. So let's say that your city has an average median income of $42,000. Well, if you could only have up to 50%, that means that you could only be earning $21,000 a year to possibly be able to qualify for a Habitat for Humanity type home. The next requirement is that you got to be a citizen or a legal resident. You also have to have receive regular paychecks that fall within the minimum and maximum amounts of what the program requires, and depending on your household size. And you also need to have had a savings account for a little while and have good credit. Now, it is also important to note a little bit of a trade-off here, because what they do require is a $500 down payment. So $500 compared to any other loan programs, except for maybe the VA loan where it's a zero down loan, are really interesting, right? Because $500 is pretty easy for most of us to come up for a down payment on a house. I mean, we would go pick up trash or do whatever we had to do to get $500 for a house. I know I would. I mean, if that's all I had to put down on a house, that would be fantastic. Now, the trade-off is that you're going to have to also perform 300 to 500 hours of community service, generally in helping the Habitat for Humanity itself and building other homes. So this is a good way that they are paying it forward, and then after you get your new place, you're going to be paying it forward to another family to help them move into their home as well, and it's going to keep repeating the cycle. And you're also going to have homeowner education courses that you're going to be taking. So all of this only makes you stronger as a homeowner and gives you more opportunity with this Habitat for Humanity type. So if you're curious about that, then you should probably contact your local Habitat for Humanity and see what their applications are, when their application deadlines are, and see if you can get on that list for those kind of homes. Now, the fifth type. And the fifth type is another fascinating type. It is the state first-time homebuyer programs. Like here in Las Vegas, Nevada, and in the state of Nevada, we actually have what's called a Nevada Home as Possible loan, and it provides a down payment assistance. What's really unique about that form of down payment assistance is that you don't have to repay it. It's more of a grant. So as long as you live in that house for at least 5 years, the grant is extinguished and you pay nothing back to the program as far as the down payment assistance that you have. It is important to note that state first-time homebuyer programs, along with FHA and VA loans, they do normally have maximum loan limits that you can go up to that are based upon county. So it's important to get with a really good real estate agent, a trusted real estate advisor in your area. And if you need help finding one, just let me know. Drop me a line and let me know where you live and your situation, and I can help you find a top agent in your area to help you out. And the reason that I say that you want to kind of make that step first before even contacting a local loan officer is because most top agents are going to already know of top performing local loan officers that are going to be happy to help you, that are on top of their game, that know all about the state first-time homebuyer programs and anything that might be more specific to the county or the city that you reside in, that can assist you and explain the options, the pros and cons, so that you can make the best decision possible whenever you're looking for your first-time homebuyer program to buy your first home. If you have any questions about this, I'm going to put my contact information up. Please feel free to reach out to me, even if you simply want to say hi. I always enjoy to hear from you. Now, if you haven't already done so, I'm going to ask you to do 3 things. Number 1, please subscribe to this channel. Number 2, please like this video. And number 3, please share this video around with somebody you know is going to be the help. In between now and next time, I'm wishing you and yours a lifetime full of love, wealth, abundance, and happiness. Thank you for watching.